Solitude feels like freedom at first. No compromises on dinner choices, no negotiations over what to watch, no one commenting on your questionable life decisions like wearing the same sweatpants for 5 days straight. Just pure, unfiltered autonomy. But here is what nobody tells you about extended isolation. Your brain was never meant to handle it. We are talking about an organ that evolved specifically to function in groups, suddenly running solo. And when that happens, things get disturbing fast. Your mind starts breaking in ways you never imagined possible. Not dramatically, not all at once, but slowly, methodically, like a computer gradually corrupting its own files. These are the 13 ways prolonged isolation rewires your reality. And trust me, by the end of this list, you will understand why hermits throughout history were considered either holy or insane. First up, time becomes meaningless. Without social rhythms to anchor you, morning commutes, lunch breaks, evening plans, your internal clock starts drifting like a boat without an anchor. Monday feels like Thursday. 3 in the afternoon could be 8 at night. You eat breakfast at sunset because who is keeping track anymore? Researchers studying Antarctic stations report workers losing entire weeks, unable to recall if events happened yesterday or last month. Your brain needs external markers to organize time, and without them, it just gives up trying. Second, your voice deteriorates. Go weeks without speaking and your vocal cords literally atrophy. When you finally do talk, maybe to order takeout or answer a phone call, you sound like you are recovering from surgery. The muscles forget their job. Your pronunciation gets sloppy. You might even struggle to form complete sentences because your brain has been thinking in fragments and images, not structured language. Imagine trying to start a car that has been sitting in a garage for months. That is your voice after prolonged silence. Third, inanimate objects become your social circle. That coffee maker? It has a name now, the houseplant. You are having full conversations about your day. And here is the disturbing part. Your brain rewards you for it. Those same neurochemicals that fire during real social interaction start flowing when you chat with your furniture. Your mind is so desperate for connection that it creates the illusion of companionship from literally nothing. Volleyball Wilson from Castaway was not just a movie prop. It was accurate psychology. Fourth, mirrors become portals to someone else. Spend enough time alone and your reflection stops feeling like you. Psychologists have documented cases where isolated individuals report feeling watched by their own mirror image, as if another consciousness lives behind the glass. You might find yourself avoiding mirrors or, conversely, spending hours staring at them, trying to figure out who that person really is. Fifth, phantom sounds invade your silence. Your brain, evolved to process constant social noise, cannot handle true quiet, so it manufactures sound. Footsteps upstairs when you live alone, someone calling your name from another room, full conversations happening just outside your door. These are not supernatural experiences. They are your auditory cortex, desperately trying to fill the void with familiar human sounds. Sailors alone at sea for months report hearing entire orchestras playing. Your mind would rather hallucinate than accept the silence. Sixth, physical touch becomes an obsession. Humans require touch, like plants require sunlight. Without it, something called skin hunger develops. People report lying under weighted blankets for hours, taking scalding hot showers just to feel something, or unconsciously stroking their own arms. Some individuals develop habits of pressing against walls or wrapping themselves tightly in clothing. Your nervous system is screaming for input. It was designed to receive regularly. Seventh, sleep architecture collapses. Social cues help regulate our circadian rhythms more than we realize. Without them, you might stay awake for 30 hours, then crash for 15. Dreams become vivid to the point of confusion, your brain compensating for the lack of daytime stimulation by creating intense nighttime narratives. Some people report dreams so realistic they struggle to distinguish them from memories. Others develop chronic insomnia because their brain forgot what normal tired feels like. Eighth, memories start evaporating, without other people to help encode experiences. Remember when we did that thing? Your brain struggles to determine what is worth storing. You forget entire days. You lose track of whether you already ate lunch. Important tasks vanish from memory because there was no one to remind you or hold you accountable. Your autobiographical timeline becomes Swiss cheese, full of gaps you cannot explain. Ninth, behavioral loops take over. Humans create rituals to impose order on chaos, but in isolation, these rituals become prisons. You make coffee at exactly 8:47 a.m. You sit in the same chair, you check the same websites in the same order. Any deviation feels catastrophically wrong. These loops provide the only structure in a structureless existence, so your brain clings to them desperately, even when they stop making sense. 10th, self-recognition fails. This goes beyond the mirror phenomenon. You might hear recordings of your voice and not recognize it. Your own thoughts feel foreign, like they are coming from someone else. Psychologists call this depersonalization. Your sense of self literally fragmenting without social feedback to hold it together. You need others to remind you who you are, and without them, that knowledge starts dissolving. 11th, Paranoia blooms. Your threat detection system calibrated for group living starts malfunctioning. Every noise becomes an intruder. Every shadow hides danger. You check locks obsessively. You see movement in peripheral vision that is not there. Without others to reality check your fears? Did you hear that? No, it is just the wind. Every concern amplifies until your home feels like enemy territory. 12th, isolation becomes addictive. After the initial discomfort passes, something worse happens. You adapt. The outside world starts feeling overwhelming. Too many choices, too much stimulation, too many social rules to remember. Your isolation cave becomes the only place that makes sense. Re-entering society feels like learning to walk again after months in bed. Many people who experience extended isolation report choosing to return to it, not because they prefer it, but because normalcy has become unbearable. 13th, consensus reality dissolves. Without others to validate your experiences, the line between real and imagined blurs beyond recognition. Did that conversation happen, or did you imagine it? Was that a memory or a dream? Your internal narrative becomes the only narrative, unchecked and unverified. Some individuals report creating elaborate alternate histories for themselves, complete with false memories that feel completely authentic. Here is the bottom line. Humans are not optional equipment for other humans. We are mandatory. Your brain is a social organ trying to run antisocial software, and it will literally break itself trying to compensate. Those monks and hermits who chose isolation, they had intense spiritual practices, rigid daily structures, and usually eventual contact with others. They were not just hanging out in caves, checking their phones. If you have been alone for too long and any of this sounds familiar, reach out to someone, anyone. Make that awkward phone call. Send that random text. Because your brain is not malfunctioning. It is functioning exactly as designed. It is just designed for connection, not isolation. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is admit you need another human to confirm that yes, it is still Tuesday. And no, the refrigerator is not actually judging your life choices.